All right, Cody, it's all on you.
All right, so good morning, everybody in the WUE Woo Wake Up Everybody virtual community. How are you guys doing this morning? How are you guys doing on the Sunday morning? Let me know in the chat really quickly how you guys doing. I see Adam is in the gym.
Good morning, brother Cody. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, bro. Doing amazing. Good morning, doing well. Thanks. Good morning, doing well. All right, great. So, I am going to be talking about today the credit blueprint, a bulletproof strategy on how to handle your credit as a complete beginner. This is a topic that a lot of people do not understand. This is a lot of topic that has a lot of myths wrapped around it. But today I'm here to straighten out all of the things that a lot of people don't know, and yeah, give you guys some knowledge that you guys probably didn't even know. So next slide. I am trying to get in the gym.
We can't hear it.
My bad. Start again. There we go. Rewind.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
All right, so let's get straight into it. So you can go to the next slide. So who am I? My name is Cody Brown, aka the future the CEO on Instagram. I'm from New York City. The story behind me getting into credit and talking to you guys about credit is simply because I had a problem with my credit as well. So first things first, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys do not have the credit score that you desire right now, it is a-okay, right? It's okay. Reason why I say that is because it can be easily fixed, easily repaired, easily built, and easily restored, right? So now with my story, pretty much I had a $200 collection that came on my credit report, and that tanked my score from about a 730 credit score all the way down to a 600 credit score. So now, after me losing so much points on my credit report, I got into the stage where I'm like, okay, cool, let me start learning how I can get my credit score back to the place where it needs to be. And then, I started learning into consumer laws, other methods, and by the time you know it, I was much deeper than I thought into the consumer laws and into learning credit and all of that other good stuff. And that's how I became well invested into myself, between mentorships, courses, YouTube, time, and also being a certified credit consultant as into credit repair. Right, so you can go ahead to the next slide. So what will be covered today, right? So pretty much what will be covered is a lot of information. So now you're going to learn who are the consumer reporting agencies, aka the credit bureaus, what is a credit score, right? How to properly check your credit report, how a credit score is made, what a structured credit profile looks like, how to build yourself to a 750 plus credit score. That is a major gem right there. What kills a credit score, what a low credit score would cost you, and also a bonus at the end that costs, a lot of people thousands of dollars. So I'm gonna be able to help you save some money as well, and some headache. Right. So here's the truth about credit, right? One in every 5 consumers have an error, at least one error on their credit report, right? These errors can lead up to disqualifications for mortgages, car loans, higher chances for insurance premiums, and also hold you from getting certain jobs, right? Some of the common errors are, accounts belonging to another person with a similar name as you, same debt listed twice, some closed accounts reported as opened, accounts that are incorrectly reporting as late or delinquent. So now, for example, let's just say, for example, my name is Cody Brown, and I have a son that's also named Cody Brown, but his name is Junior, right? There are times where sometimes there might be an account that's reporting that's not my own, but it's my son own, and it's reporting to my credit report as well, right? So sometimes there's little mistakes that happens with people's credit report, and there are accounts that you don't even know that you have open that are reporting to your credit report, and that's something that negatively holds you down as well, right? Sometimes you might see the same debt that's listed twice. That can hurt you as well. Reason why it can hurt you is because a lot of people don't understand something called debt to income ratio, right? So if you have a high DTI, most times you might, slim your chance for getting approved for certain accounts and stuff like that, right? Closed accounts reporting is open. Sometimes you might even pay off a car loan and it's still reporting as if you are actively paying on that car loan. Accounts that are incorrectly reported as such as late payments or even delinquent. So now, for example, late payments, you might have a bank error that's reporting that you were 30 days late in July, and then it says on June that you were 30 days late. So there's basically, misreporting of information, and those misreporting of information can definitely hold you down from getting approval. So that's the truth, some of the truth about credit. 1 in every 5 people. So I guarantee there is at least 3 people on this call that have some errors on their report. All right, so we can go to the next slide. Who are the consumer reporting agencies, right? So, AKA the credit bureaus, right? So I know you guys are probably familiar with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. These are the main three credit bureaus that everybody knows, right? So now these are companies that holds information about your financial transactions like credit cards, loans, mortgages, student loans, auto loans, credit inquiries, etc. That information gets there from lenders / creditors every 30 days you've done business with or in the past or currently. Companies like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion are also known as CRAs, right? So now, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, here's a fact that I want to get straightened out real quick. So pretty much they are privately owned companies. These companies are not ran by the government. They're not ran, they're not binded by the government, they're not a subdivision of the government. They have nothing to do with the government at all. They're private entities that took on a role and said, okay, cool, we are bureaus. They're not credit bureaus. They're private, they're consumer reporting agencies. And that's where a lot of people get tricked up by calling them bureaus, but they're really not bureaus. Right? So we're going to go to the next slide. What is a credit score? Right? So a credit score is basically a number range from 350 to 850 generated by Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? So now what this number is pretty much to let banks know, banks, lenders, credit card companies, insurance agencies, and other financial institutions know your potential risk level to them as a new potential client or customer to their business. So pretty much with the credit score, they're using your credit score to see if you're risk level to them. So, that's where they're able to say, okay, cool, I might charge this guy an extra couple interest, on his monthly payments, just because he might be a little risky to my business. He might not be the kind of person to pay me back because he has a bad track record, or he even has a good track record of paying back bills and paying back people on time, right? So that's pretty much the reason why people use credit scores. That's why the lenders, banks, and credit card companies use credit scores.
So Cody, I just wanted to jump in here.
Yeah.
And so how do they capture your credit score? Is this a snapshot? And if it is, how much of a snapshot? Is it like the last few days? If you paid a bill on time and it went up astronomically or something, when do they capture you doing well with your credit
So
score?
So pretty much there's something called inquiries, right? There's two types of inquiries that there are. You have soft inquiries and you have hard inquiries. So anytime a business does, a credit check, that's basically an inquiry. So they're checking your credit report to see, have you have any late payments? Is your utilization rising? Have you had more, recent accounts in the past couple of months or the past couple of weeks? All of those things. That's basically when they're checking your credit report to see what's going on. Also, soft inquiry. Sometimes you might not see the physical hard inquiry, but you'll see a soft inquiry. They're just checking in to see what's on your credit profile.
So how often does it change? Does it change by month? How often
Yeah,
do they?
it changes every month pretty much. So every month, all the companies report once a month. So if you have like a Capital One credit card, they're going to report information every single month. So they're only going to report 12 times for the year for your information, right?
Mhm.
So this is why you want to understand when is your payment due date,
Mhm.
when is your statement closing date, and when is your reporting date. So now when you understand these three important dates on your
Report.
statement, now you're able to, understand when they report information to the credit bureaus. So you can, pretty much trick the system.
Right, I was gonna say, so where do we find the reporting date? Is that on our statement? And how do we use that to our advantage?
So pretty much how you find your these important dates, you can look on your statements or you can give them a call. You can simply ask them, when is my payment due date? Usually it's the date when you pay like the $25, $35. That's the payment due date. And then usually the statement closes 4 to 5 days after that payment due date is there. So you can just use those 2 dates to actually use, to understand when they report. So if they report on the 14th, that means around 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, around the 18th, 19th is when they're going to be reporting information to the credit bureaus.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Are there any more questions for Cody around the credit score itself? If so, raise your hand. All right, let's keep going.
Right. So how is a credit score made, right? So as we just talked about, the credit scores range from 350 to 850 credit score. That's the highest score, and 350 is the lowest credit score. So possible points you can accumulate within the range, right? So now we're going to look over here to the left where it says a credit score is made up of 5 different components, right? So you have payment history, utilization, age of accounts, types of accounts, number of inquiries. So now, as we know, if it ranges from 350 to 850, when you subtract it, that's accumulated of 550 points. So now what I did was you put 35 points times 550 points, right? That's the maximum, that's the range of points that you can accumulate. So now payment history is basically how have you been paying your credit cards, right? Have you been paying it on time or have you been paying it late? That is the biggest factor in your credit score. So just by having one late payment, you can potentially drop 192 points, as you can see when you calculate it, right? Utilization is 30%. That's 165 points, right? Is your utilization above 30%? Is it below 30%? Is it a maxed out utilization or what? Right. So pretty much the best advice I give for utilization is to keep your utilization in between 2% to 10%. That's the sweet spot. 30% is a little too close to being above or high. So you want to keep the utilization in between 2 to 10%. Age of credit accounts, that makes up 15% of your credit score, also about 82 points of your credit score as well. So now that is where do you have a lengthy credit profile? You know what I mean? Like if you have a shorter credit profile, you're not be able to maximize off these 15% of your score. But I'm gonna teach you guys another way how to add some history to your accounts. And then number 4 is the type of accounts. That's 10% of your accounts, of your credit score, I'm sorry. And then that is pretty much the mixture of accounts. Do you have, a mixture of student loans? Do you have a mixture of car loans, auto loans, credit cards, all of these things? Do you have, a mixture of different accounts? And then number of inquiries, that's also 10%, which is another 55 points, right? So that is basically how many credit cards or how many loans have you applied for in the past 12 months, 24 months? That is the number of inquiries. You want to have that as minimum as possible.
So
Right.
Cody, for the utilization, is that your overall credit or utilization on one particular card? For example, let's say you have a 10,000 limit on one card, and then 5,000 on another. How do we get to that 30%? I think you said 30%. Is it overall credit or per card?
No, so this one is going to be overall. And let's just say you have a $10,000 credit card. 10% of that is $1,000. So if you have $1,000 or less, reporting to your credit card, reporting to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, that is going to be a 10% utilization. And then when you add everything up on, all the various accounts, that's how you're able to, accumulate your utilization overall. But that's each card has this individual utilization, I would say. And then if you add everything up, it's you keep it at 2 to 10%.
Gotcha.
And also, here's another tip for you guys. If you have, and how to maximize off this is, if you have multiple credit cards, what you should do is have 2 dates set up, right? So now for me, for example, I have multiple credit cards. I don't want to have any late payments. I'm a human, I forget things happen, right? So what you want to do is you want to have one set of credit cards set up for the 14th of the month, and the second half of your credit cards set up on the 24th or the 28th of the month. So now you have half of your cards due on one date and half of your cards due on another date, versus you just dishing out money every single day and you don't even know where you're going. You know what I mean? You just keep paying, and you're not getting anywhere. So if you have 5 credit cards due on this on the 14th, and then 5 credit cards due on the 28th, and that's how you're able to, maximize off your payments and also save yourself a late payment. Because, if you know exactly the cards that you have due on the 14th and the cards that you have due on the 28th, now you're able to, be ahead of the game pretty much.
Great. Thank you, Cody. And for the payment, so say you're making the minimum payment and you're making them on time every month, does that impact you? So you're paying them on time, but you're not paying the full amount. Is it really that they're looking at that you're paying it on time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and also no. Like, so if you see it says 35%, that's just for paying it on time. You know what I mean? And then also it would be a bad thing because you have something called interest.
Right.
And they'll eat you up on the interest just by paying, the minimum payment off of a high balance. And then after a while of just keep paying a minimum payment, they're gonna increase your minimum payment from about $25 probably to like $100 just so you can pay it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think it's interesting that they charge you more interest to someone who's more of a risk. So you're putting more money on that person who's already struggling to make payments on time.
Yeah.
So this cycle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So now here's what a structured credit profile looks like. Right. So you want to have, this is the blueprint to get to a 750 plus credit score, or even an 800 credit score if that's what your heart desires. Right. So now, if you have 100% on-time payments, you want to have 100% on-time payments. Your utilization is in between 2 to 10%. Zero derogatory items. We're going to get into that as well, right? 4 to 5 plus years of history on your credit profile, and 10 plus accounts, plus 2 to 3 inquiries maximum, right? If you has, lease inquiries, that is great. 10 plus accounts, mixture of accounts. I'm going to give you guys some accounts that you can use if you don't have, as much credit. You're looking to build credit. 4 to 5 plus years of history, and how you can easily snatch up that 15% of the history is go to a friend, family member that has a credit card that they barely use, and ask them to add you as an authorized user. So now before you ask them to add you as an authorized user, make sure that they don't have any late payments, make sure that they don't have any delinquent accounts or delinquent comments on that credit card, and then tell them to add you as an authorized user on their oldest credit card that they have. So now if Chantel has a credit card that's been open since 2000 and we're in 2022, she adds me as the authorized user, that is going to reflect to my credit profile as if I have 22 plus years of credit history, right? And then 2 to 10% utilization, as we just spoke about, and 100% on-time payments, right? So that is the blueprint on how to get to a 750 plus credit score, or even into the 800 credit score if you really want to.
Shout out to me for that credit card at 10 years old. Okay.
Yeah,
2000.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Any questions here? And yeah, my uncle actually told me to do something like that where he put his children on his credit. And by the time they were going to college, they definitely, we all get hit with those credit cards when we're going into
Mhm.
college and we hit that age. And, by then their credit scores were pretty good for 18 years old. So that's a great trick. Exactly.
Yep, yep. Some people even charge for those kind of spots, and I don't blame them.
Where you
Like,
could tag on to their credit,
hmm?
where you could tack onto their credit, they charge you to do that.
They charge you by the day. Like
Wow,
say
that's
for
a little
example, you're going for a
hustle.
home.
That's a little hustle. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's actually worth it because if you think about it, if I have a credit card that's open and you're about to go apply for a home loan or a car loan, and you're more than likely gonna get denied because of your age,
Mm,
I can charge you a calm 350 to $1,000. You know what I mean? Just to add you as an authorized user, because now the odds that it's stacked against you, you'll
mm.
be able to get approved versus being denied if you know what I mean?
That's smart.
Yeah. So that's a quick hustle or stream of income that you can use from your credit card. Right. So now here are 6 accounts that you can go ahead and build up your credit profile. Right. So now, number 1, you have something called self credit builder. Right. This is kind of like a installment loan, kind of like a savings account, pretty much, but I'm gonna explain how it is at the end. Credit Strong is the same thing. Extra debit card is another account that you can use. Chime Credit Builder card is another account that you can use. Rental Karma slash Rent Reporters is another account that you can use. And Secured Loan, aka a pledge loan, is something that you can use to build your credit profile. So I'm going to explain each of these and what they do and how you can benefit from them. So number 1, self credit builder. Actually, number 1 and number 2 is self credit builder and Credit Strong. These are 2 separate companies, and how they operate is pretty much, it's kind of like a savings account, but it's reporting to your credit bureaus as if it's an installment account, like as if it's a loan. So now they're gonna charge you $15 to $25 a month. And then let's just say, the terms are for 2 years. What they will do is they'll charge you $25 a month. And at the end of the terms, they're going to reimburse you the money that you've been paying over the past 2 years, minus the fees and interest, as if it was a savings account. So you have pretty much your saving and you're building your credit history as well. So that's self and Credit Strong. Extra debit card is kind of like that debit card that you want to use for you stepping up into the credit card world, because a lot of people, they don't really like to use the credit card, just because they think they're not going to pay them back. So this is why you use the extra debit card, to still be able to build up your credit profile even when using the debit card, right? And then Chime Credit Builder is kind of similar to extra debit card. They work the same pretty much. And then Rental Karma slash Rent Reporters is another account that you can use if you're renting an apartment. If you have a landlord that's willing to let you rent this. All right, let me take it a step back. If you have a landlord that's willing to report the rent to your credit bureaus that you've been paying for the past 5+ years, 2+ years, now your landlord can report your rent to your credit profile, and you can also build your credit profile just by having that on your profile. So now if you're a person that you're looking to go ahead and purchase a home in the next couple of months, you can use this as a stepping stone to say, okay, cool, I've been paying my rent on time for the past X, Y, and Z amount of months. And then secured loans aka pledge loans, is basically accounts that is set up by the banks. So you can go ahead and go into a bank and say, okay, cool, I want to open a secured loan, is where you're going to give them collateral, aka money, and they'll hold that money for you and then give you back the money, and you're paying them the same monthly payment every month until that loan is paid off, right? So that's the secured loan / pledge loan. Great way to build your account. Great way. So next. Right, so I want to clear the air, right? I want to ask everybody, how do you guys check your credit scores? You can let me know in the chat. You guys can mute for a quick second. How are you guys currently checking your credit reports? She said, LOL, Credit Karma. Okay.
How many of us are using our banks?
Oh yeah, even that as well.
I know you said that on the last session. I was like, don't trust that one anymore. Cody said not that one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we have Luis. Sorry, guys. Luis.
Hi. So I'm kind of cooking, so it's hard for me to be in the chat all the time. So I pay Experian monthly to monitor my credit report across the 3 credit bureaus. Also to monitor if there's anybody opening an account on what they call the dark web or anything like that. So they'll send me monitors. For me, it's worth it to kind of pay that monthly because so many of my cards had gotten caught up in the whole, oh, your information was in a leak, with all the stuff you hear in the news about all these different companies getting hacked and all of that. So I thought it was going to be better, especially since I had been rebuilding my credit. So my credit is now decent. I said, you know what, it's just best that I pay for this monthly so that I don't have to pay worse in the future. I'm sure there's free stuff out there, but I just I pay Experian once a month to let me know when my credit bureaus are up, when my new information is there, if there's anything reported on the dark web, if there's any adverse thing being reported to my credit bureau, or if anybody try to open up an account. So I have my accounts locked. So if I want to try to open up an account, I have to log in, unlock it, so I can be able to apply for credit, and then I lock it back.
Yep, right away. So you spot on with all the information you guys that she just said. So I do the same thing that that Louise does. So pretty much I use Credit Karma, but I don't use it to check my credit scores or anything like that. I just use it for the monitoring to stay up to date. And yeah, but it doesn't show you. Stop using Credit Karma, guys. Like, don't use those to check your credit score. Don't use those for, all of those other things that you usually use it for. Invest in yourself. It's only like $25 a month, where you can go to Experian.com or even smartcredit.com. Those are 2 monitoring sites that I use to, stay above my credit. So pretty much I use 2 different monitoring sites plus the Credit Karma as the last resort to get any kind of, notifications if somebody's using my credit for anything, to stay ahead of the game pretty much. You know what I mean? So now you can use Smart Credit and Experian.com, the paid version though, right? So she says something from Facebook. I was checking on my bank, my Experian account. I don't trust the banks. Why shouldn't we trust our bank? So the reason why you don't want to just only look at your bank is because if you were to log into your bank right now and you look at your credit score, you're only going to see the credit score. You're not going to see all of the information that you need to see, right? And plus, they're only going to show you one bureau, right? There are 3 main bureaus that we all need to be aware of. We need to stay, know everything that's going on all 3, not just one of them, right? And plus, Credit Karma is only going to show you Equifax and TransUnion. It doesn't show you Experian as well, right? And also, if you're looking to go ahead and buy a home, buy a car in the future, that is not the credit score that they're going to use. So quick story, right? So I was, when I was about a couple of years ago, right? I went ahead and I was going to get a car, that was going to be my first car. But the thing is, I was looking at my Discover app to say, okay, cool, I have a 750, 730 credit score. And then I went to go purchase a car. I was going to get a Q50, like 3 years old. You know what I mean? I went test drove the car. I test drove the car, drove it around the block a few times. I'm already, breaking into the car like it's mine already, right? So pretty much when I got back to the dealership, we're at the round table, at the closing table, and I'm looking at my Discover app. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get approved, no money down. I got a 730 credit score. Mind you, I'm looking at my Discover app, guys, and they was like, unfortunately, sir, you're not approved. I'm like, woo. You know what I mean? Like, that is the most heartbreaking thing when you go ahead and test drive a car, you felt the car, and now you're getting denied because of your credit. The finances were straight, but the credit was not straight. I didn't have a built out profile the way how it should have been in the past couple slides that I showed you guys, right? And also I was checking my Discover app. I didn't know all of the other information that they look at. I didn't know all the information they take into consideration. So this is the reason why you should go ahead and start, building your credit profile the right way. Start, using the actual apps so you can go ahead and get approved and stop getting denied. It doesn't feel good at all. Trust me, it does not feel good. It's not good. And then, even to sum it up, what I ended up doing was I called, what's the first thing that we do when we get denied? We call somebody that has good credit. I called my dad. He came, he took the loan out, and I had to co-sign for the car. That was my car. I had to be the co-signer. So guys, get your credit fixed, build your credit. Now it's important that you get it situated as soon as possible, but getting denied is not a great feeling. I just had to share that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you're not alone on that, Cody.
Yeah.
And how is it with as a co-signer? I'm sure some of us have co-signed for family and friends as well. How does that impact you when those people miss payments? And sometimes I think we co-sign to just to help someone, but then it really is your responsibility to jump in. So
Yeah.
anything else you want to say about co-signing?
Yeah, I say co-sign is a bad thing. Like, absolutely not. Like, there's no reason why, if you took the time to build up your credit profile, your credit score, all of that good stuff, there's absolutely no reason why you should be having anybody co-sign. You shouldn't be co-signing with anybody. Nobody should be co-signing for you as well. Reason why I say that is because for me, for example, that same car that I was so excited about, I got the car. I had it probably like for 6 months. Got into a major car accident. Boom, car was gone. Now imagine if the insurance didn't pay for that car. I would have been paying for a car. Me and my dad would have been liable for it. I would have been paying for a car that I don't even have. It's totaled, and that would have been affecting our credit. So I say never co-sign for a car. I learned my lesson. It was not even me, but thank God the car was paid for after.
Right. Yeah. And then how do you maybe deal with those discrepancies on your credit report if you are a co-signer and someone missed those payments? Is there anything that you can do with the credit bureaus as a co-signer?
So pretty much whatever goes on your profile is what goes on the other person's profile. So you would have to do the same disputes that of whatever on your report. So if you have late payments, you have to dispute those, and the same person has to do the same thing as well. So yeah, pretty much by writing letters, I don't really recommend calling on the phone to get certain things deleted because, it could be a he say, she say thing. But if it's written on paper, we're having the one conversation, and this is what you said the last time, and this is what I'm sticking to pretty much.
Gotcha. Thank you. And then if we all work with you, is there like a certain letter or a template that you can provide us with to have those conversations and those disputes?
Oh yeah, I'll share that in the end.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, you ready for the
Yeah. I had to share that story. It was
No, that's great. That's what we need to hear, testimonials and how you got through this journey and where you are now.
Mhm. So what kills a credit score, right? So we're going to talk about those things that absolutely kill a credit score. These are also known as derogatory marks. They hold people back from things they're trying to accomplish, right? So late payments. Let me know in the chat. Say yes or no. Late payments, yes or no? Do you have late payments on your report? Do you have collections in your report? Do you have medical debt on your report? Do you have charge off on your report? Do you have excessive names and addresses on your report? Do you have a bankruptcy on your report? Do you have multiple inquiries on your report? Do you have foreclosures in your report? Do you have delinquent student loans on your report? Do you have judgments on your report? Do you have repossessions on your report? And I think somebody even said child support on your report. Yeah. Child support is, I usually include it, but yeah. Child support is another public record as well, right? Oh man, so everybody got a perfect credit profile here. Okay. So we're gonna go to the next slide. So those are the things that kills a credit profile, right? So now, let's just say you're considering purchasing a car in the next few weeks, next couple months, anytime soon, right? So now here's a real world auto loan example. This probably even has changed because of the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like interest rates are even higher right now because of the recession that we're going into, everyone's saying. But here are some, understandable numbers that people have been dealing with for the past couple of years, over and over and over and over and over for a vehicle, right? So now, if you look over to the left, it says low credit score. If you look at the middle, it says average credit score. And if you look to the right, it says great credit score. So now, low credit score, 524. Average credit score is 680. Great credit score, 730 or above and above, right? So now we're going for, let's just say we're going for a BMW 328i, right? The car is worth $28,500, right? That's the actual price of the car. So now a person with a low credit score is paying 15% interest, right? Person with an average credit score is paying 5% interest, right? So that's 10% difference from the low credit score. And then the person with the great credit score is paying 3% interest. So that's another 3% knocked off just by having great credit, right? So now the person with low credit is paying $678 a month, right? We're not talking about insurance. We're not talking about gas, and we're not talking about maintenance. We're just talking about the monthly payments for the car itself, right? Average credit score, you're paying $538 a month, right? So that's a big jump, right? And then now a person with a great credit score is paying $512 a month. Same car, different monthly payments, as you guys can see. So you see the loan interest says $12,000 for a low credit score. Average credit score is $6,000 in interest. And then a person with a great credit score is only paying an extra $2,000. So in total, he's paying $30,000 for a car versus the other people, they're paying a whole extra amount of money just to drive the car. And mind you guys, a car is a depreciating asset unless you turn into, a depreciating liability unless you turn into an asset, right? So would you rather spend 10K for a car or nah? Right. So the potential savings is about a good $10,000. Right.
All right, we have a question in the chat from Rakia. How
Okay.
is your credit affected if if you close on your account with non-activity?
How is your credit score affected if it's closed? So now, reason why it will be affected is if you close a positive account, that is it's gonna go to the 15% of your credit score, which is the age. So now if you close a positive account that you had open, let's just say you had that account open since 2010. You closed an account that you had open from 2010. Now you lost all of the age, right? But it still has positive information reporting to your banks or whatever, but you just lost the history if the bank closes it. Usually they close it if you're not using the credit card, right? So if you're not using the credit card, they're going to close it for you and they're going to give that money to someone else. Because it's like, okay, cool, I gave you money, but you're not using it. You know what? Let me close the account for you and let me give it to somebody else that's actually using the money. Right? From Facebook, K Sweetness Jennings, the card cost and the worth is two different things. I get excited when we behave in a more practical way. What do we need for this? I kind of don't get that question. Do you get it, Chantel?
Read it. So the car cost and the worth is two different things. I get excited when we behave in a more practical way. What do you need with 6 cylinders? So I think it's about being practical. Like you don't need a BMW, especially if your credit is not that great. So how can we so the cost and the worth are two different things. Like you said, it's the depreciation. Is that something that you really want to invest in when you don't need all that? But I think it's about like people's perspective and what they want, the luxury that they want and stuff like that. But you have to be responsible with it. If you don't have the money or the credit to do it, then don't dive into something like this right now.
Yep.
And so it's also 7:55. So Cody, you want to thank everyone who's been able to join, who might have to hop off now?
Yes. So I see the numbers actually increasing as well. But if you guys have to leave, I just want to say thank you guys for sharing the opportunity with me to come into you guys' community, share some information with you guys about credit, also some things that you did not know about your credit. Hopefully you guys learned some information about credit. Hopefully you guys gained some things some takeaway actionable steps that you can do as soon as today or tomorrow with your credit. Yeah.
Awesome. And then Z is going to drop your information in the chat for those who have to hop off soon so that they can stay in touch. So, next slide.
All right. So now the same thing applies with a home loan. If you guys were getting a home and your credit score is about 524, 680, or 730, pretty much the house is a $250,000 investment. Now, bad credit, you're paying 6.5 interest. Average credit, you're paying 5% interest, and great credit, you're paying 3.9% interest, and you're financed for 30 years. So now let's just say, for example, it all matters because if you were to lock into a deal right now, this is the deal you're going to be locked into for the next 30 years. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to spend an extra $140,000 if you didn't have to. You know what I mean? That's somebody's 1 year salary. And I don't think I want to dish that out into the banks, you know what I mean, for a house that I'm going to be paying for. All right, so we're gonna skip to the next one just because of time.
I just want to know where are these houses?
Where
are these houses? This is my rent. Somebody else is paying us in rent.
Go to Texas, go to Florida. Right. So as you guys can see, the picture to the left, that's when I went and bought a brand new 2022 Honda Accord. The picture to the top right, board certified credit consultant. That is the certificate that I got from being a certified credit consultant. The picture below that where it says Inlux Studios, that's when I went ahead to a podcast and I shot an interview with somebody that's a realtor. She is in I think she's into luxury real estate sales and stuff like that. The Centurion Lounge. A lot of people were talking about the Amex credit card. That's a credit card that they would die for. You know what I mean? And I got that credit card at 22 years old, unlimited charge card, no preset spending limit. That's the picture right beside it when I got the credit card. And the picture below it is when I went to go shoot a podcast on YouTube. So if you guys want to check that out as well, you guys can.
One big thanks, Cody. Listen, once they deliver that box and they deliver this card in a wooden box, you just feel like VIP.
Yeah.
And once you go to the Centurion Lounge, there's no going back. So if you can work your way
Okay,
up to
back.
that platinum card, guys, it's amazing. It's an amazing feeling. Trust me. It's
Mm-hmm.
heavy. It holds weight.
It
And
holds
kudos to you.
conversations too.
Yeah, dude, right. And kudos to you for doing that at 22.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So here's the bonus to protect yourselves from identity theft. So first things first, go to Experian.com, Equifax.com, and TransUnion.com. Kind of like how I forgot her name.
Louise?
Louise, she was a prime example. She gave away the bonus. Pretty much create an account with each of these credit bureaus, place a freeze on your credit files, and then once it's frozen, leave it frozen until you actually need it. So now, if anybody applies for credit, they're automatically going to be denied for that credit. So now, if your credit profile is unfrozen, you have a greater risk or a greater chance of, having accounts open on your behalf without you even knowing, until you find out like 30 days later, or when you see the inquiry and that credit card was already approved for. Now it would be too late. You know what I mean? So go ahead and place a freeze on your credit profiles and leave it there until you actually need to apply for credit. And then step 4 is rinse, wash, and repeat. So unfreeze it, use the credit, and freeze it right away, just like Louise said. And then that's how you protect your guys' self from identity theft and scams. All right, so talk to me, guys. Is there enough time for questions or no?
Absolutely. Yeah. And actually, Rakia wants to get straight to the point. She said, how do you get and maintain a credit score of 800 to 850? Just give it to us straight. How do we get there?
What was the question again? Say that
How
one
do
more
we
time.
how do we get to and maintain a credit score of 800 to 850?
Oh, pretty much like how the slide that I showed you guys. 100% on-time payments, 2 to 10% utilization reporting, 0 derogatory marks, 4 to 5 plus years of history, 10 plus accounts, and 2 to 3 inquiries maximum. And that's how you're able to get to the 850 credit score if that's what you really want.
And work with Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Also, yeah, you were
I was
saying?
saying, you say all those things, or some of, we don't know where to start. I wouldn't know how to write a letter to distribute, what's the word I'm looking for? Dispute
Credit bureaus. Yeah.
anything. Yeah, we wouldn't know. I personally wouldn't know where to start with those things. So, I have the same question. Like, how do we get there? We hear different advice, but where do you say we start? Like today, if we wanted to get to 800 and our score is 500 or 600, where would you suggest we start?
Start by pulling your credit report. That's first things first. See what's on their profile. See if you have any derogatory items. See if you have any late payments. See if you have any charge-offs. See if you have any collections, any medical collections. See if you have any student loan delinquencies. See, and how you would know is you'll look at the comment section of every credit profile that you see reporting, and that's be able to tell you whether the account is charged off, whether the account is bankruptcy, whether the account is late payments reporting. You'll be able to see all of those information reporting in the comments or even the account type. Case Sweetness Jennings, she said luxury is a great word. Let's walk in the light of when we
Yeah, I'll
desire.
read it for you.
I mean,
Luxury is a great word. Let's walk in the light of why we even desire BMW. Let's not limit our wokeness. Be conscious. You have to buy the gas and keep up the condition of the car. Look at me going in the opposite direction of the conversation. That sounds about right. Thank you, Casey.
yeah.
And she said, Honda Accord, that's what's up. Excellent choice. And Cody, you are an
Thank you.
inspiration. Yes. And she
Thank
also
you.
said, who do I call to freeze the account?
You don't have to call anyone. You have to just create an account on Experian.com, TransUnion.com, and Equifax.com, and go ahead and log in and just place a freeze in the report. You'll be able to get it within like 3 steps. It's really, really easy. You don't have to call anyone.
And I've done it from my app, like my Discover card. I've just pressed freeze on that. So if you're tech savvy, that's great. And if you might need more assistance, then you might want to call your particular credit card that you want to put a freeze on. But if you have the app or access to their website, you could just do it from your fingertips.
The credit card is a little different. When you freeze a credit card, that's when you're freezing that particular
Right.
card. Yeah. So like you're freezing that card from making any kind of transactions. When you're freezing your credit profile, you're freezing it from having anybody open any accounts without your authorization. So if you apply for any kind of accounts or any kind of credit, you're automatically going to be denied until you remove that freeze or remove that lock.
And so, Cody, when you freeze, do you accumulate interest?
No, no.
Awesome.
Because you already have your term set when you first get the credit card or whatever credit it may be. Do you guys have any goals set for your credit score for the next 12 months, your credit profile for the next 12 months? Do you guys have any big purchases that you want to make in the next 12 months? I'm helping children establish their credit in addition to adding them as an authorized user and establish insurance in their name. Is there anything else a parent can do? You can share the information with them, you know what I mean? Take it day by day, give them this information and tell them the importance of credit. That's some more stuff you can do as well as a parent.
Yeah, and I think for me, my credit score means a representation of who I am, and so that it means a lot when the numbers go up and down. And I know it's not a representation of Chantel, but I think for me, it's like to other people, this is how responsible or irresponsible I am or can be. So like Rukia said, how do we get to the 800 and stay there and go even higher? For me, it's like I want to make sure that this is a clear representation of how responsible I am with my money, but also it's access and privilege. So with a higher credit score, you get access to different resources. Like you said, you can make bigger purchases or different purchases that might be blocked to someone else. So I want to have that access to being able to be approved and hear that word approved, and not sit at that denied, right? And slumping your chair like, oh God, I just really want this car. I work so hard. And you think you're doing it right. And they fluctuate so much. That's why I asked, like, how often do they report it? Where's that snapshot? So, to see like, I did really great these last 6 months, but now these next 6 months, you're gonna look at me like, what have you been doing?
Yeah.
So just worrying about how it looks and how to maintain it.
Yeah, so you just always gotta stay ahead of the game, just like, for example, what I was just saying earlier with the splitting the dates in two. That works really, really good. That even had cost me some money because I'm all over the place with my credit cards at one point. And it's like, yo, I can't get ahead. And then what I did was I changed my dates I split my credit cards in half. The balances, when I mean by split it in half, I'm like, okay, cool. If I have $80,000 available on credit, I put 40 on the 28th and I put another 40 on the 14th. And I add up all the minimum payments or my balances for the 14th and I paid those off. And then 2 weeks later, I have another set of credit cards due on the 28th, pay those off. And then it just circles around. So now you're not all over the place, just paying minimum payments, or even just paying the balance off. So now you're way ahead of the game before, you can even have a late payment or something like that.
Right. Great. And then Louise said that I want to purchase a new car next summer. So I definitely am trying to get my credit up to 800. It's currently at 700. I worked hard to repair my credit. I hear that, Louise. And Kaisha, my daughter uses a credit card to buy groceries and gas. She pays it off monthly, but the particular card does not give her any rewards such as traveling points. What is the best card that gives good rewards where the strategy will be beneficial?
So every card is pretty much different. So for me, for example, like if you're the kind of person that you might like to travel as often, and I say use your credit cards for everything. Like use your credit cards for everything. Don't just use it for the gas. Don't just use it for the groceries. Use it for everything. You know what I mean? Because if you're using it, if you're gonna use your debit card and pay, you might as well use the credit card because you're gonna pay it with your debit card eventually. You know what I mean? You're gonna use that money eventually. So just use the credit card for everything. So now you're able to maximize on your potential rewards that you can get. Some credit cards has a 1.5 cash back, unlimited 1.5 cash back. Some credit cards have 2% cash back. I think there's a few credit cards that have an introductory period of 3% cash back. And then there's some credit cards that has point systems. So like if you have a Chase Sapphire preferred credit card, that's how I was able to use that same credit card and travel from New York to Las Vegas on a round trip flight. And I only paid $11.60 to get from here to Las Vegas and back home. And if you know, Las Vegas is kind of expensive. So I was able to offset my bills, my travel stay, my travel and lounging just from using one credit card. Actually, two.
That's real. Yeah, I paid for a hotel in Africa like that, just the points is adding up over the year. And for Christmas time, I go into the American Express and start giving out the gift cards as gifts. So you can use your points to redeem as gift cards. You could get cash back. You could pay your bill with it, or you could use your points for travel and hotel stays. So if you do that, get those credit cards for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, anyone? What do we have? And K Sweetness says it's a great conversation. Oh, go ahead, Cody. You want to read it out loud first?
Yeah, she said, K Sweetness Jennings, she said, this is a great conversation. What a positive way to start my Sunday. The gym is next positive move on this Sunday. I send love and light to you, family. Trust and believe it's all connected. Our thoughts and behaviors, our habits, and our intentions are all connected. What is your addictions? You have to shop around for your best rewards. Thank you. I'm glad you're able to start off your Sunday with me.
That's awesome. All right, let's get you back up here. All right, Cody, we are closing out.
All right, so for the next 3 people that text the word consult to 347-727-0655 and the following instructions, there will be something special for you, right? So go ahead and text the specific word CONSULT. No, actually,
woo.
Yeah, cut that off. Just type in woo, just text the word woo, and I got something for you guys, right? Text the word woo, WUE, no spaces or periods in between, just the word WUE. Text it to 347-727-0655.
All right, thank you, Z.
Doing something special for you guys. And also, if you guys learn some information, you want to learn some more game about credit, I have all of the information packed up and bundled up into one book itself. I took the time to write. Now, it has the letters that we were talking about, because I know a lot of people, sometimes they don't know where to start. They have letters, they have templates that with the letters, it has specific wording to get your deletions off. It has the consumer laws in there. It has letters titled that you can use for collections, charge-offs, late payments, all of these other derogatory items that we spoke about earlier to help you get your deletions. So now, as you guys see, it says $147 is the original price. I'm gonna let you guys know I spent a lot of money invested into myself, and I dropped all the information that I can give you as a beginner so you can understand credit all into one book, right? All into one book, right? It was originally $47. Usually I sell it for $97, but for today only, I'm going to be selling that ebook for $47. So go ahead and text the word WUE to 347-727-0655 And I will get that link to you guys today to purchase the ebook, right? This is only today only. So you have $100 off of the ebook that you can get instantly, right?
Okay.
Also, another incentive for you guys, if you feel like you want me to help you as well on your credit repair journey, do the services for you, I am going to be taking 45% off my credit repair services. Originally, it's $1,000 for credit repair. And I think that's the low end, to be honest, right? And I'll be taking 45% off for all of the people that go ahead and text me the word WUE to 347-727-0655. Today, I will be able to take 45% off. So you're going to be paying $650 for only $650 for credit repair services, only for today, though. That only lasts for today. So go ahead and text me the word WUE to lock in your spot for credit repair services, and we can get on the road to that 750 plus credit score that you guys' heart desires.
That's a great investment, Cody. And for those of us who do want to get there and might not have it right now, is there a payment plan or anything in place, or is it the 650? And how do we make that payment to you?
When we get on the phone, we can talk about those things. See what will be the best fit.
Great. All right. How can we stay in touch with you, Cody?
How you guys can stay in touch, my phone number is 347-727-0655. Text me the word WUE to stay locked in with the Wake Up Everybody community. I'm on Facebook as well, Cody Brown. I dropped a video in the chat yesterday. Also, I'm on Instagram, future_the CEO. My email is admin@magnateconsulting.com, and the link tree is at the bottom. The username is future_the CEO, so that's how you can find me in Linktree.
And you keep saying future CEO. You are already a CEO. You got the language.
Somebody told me to change that, but I'm like, I already stuck with it.
You are the CEO. Look, you've manifested it. It's here now. So now you got to update everything so we know who you are. All right, Cody. How can we share our love for this information with you?
Whatever you guys' heart desire. I was surprised when I seen this donation section. So if the Wake Up Everybody, if you guys feel the need to, if your heart desires to donate, I really appreciate it. But otherwise, I'm glad that I was able to share the space with you guys.
Awesome. So if you would like, we would love to send Cody some love showers and appreciation for all of this information that he shared with the community today. It's been very informal, and I know all of us got something out of it. So you know the drill. You can go through Zelle or QuickPay at soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com or pay via Cash App at Spirit of a Woman. And you can send it to with the code hashtag 621CB. So we'll know that that is for Cody. All right. And so if you want to send in your love offerings monthly and not have to worry about it, set it and forget it, you can do monthly automated love offerings. So we have $25, $50, $75, and $100 a month. And you can use the bit.ly links that are in the chat right now to enroll yourself. Up next, okay, look at all the men in this space this week. I love it. All the brothers. So tomorrow we're going to do hot yoga meditation with my guy Quasi, and that's going to be a 30-minute session. And then we are going to learn manifestation magic one-on-one with Kadeem on Tuesday. So tune in for that. Also, we want to welcome all of our newbies into the space. If you are new in here for the first time joining us, thank you so much for coming, for learning, elevating, and ascending with the Woo community. And we have some information in the chat that will drop so you can come back and you can register for some more and stay up to date with the e-blasts. So how can you come back? When can you come back? We are on Zoom Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 8:30 a.m. and Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 7:30. We're also live streaming on Facebook. So if you can't come in Zoom for whatever reason, you can just click the button and find us on Facebook and interact with us there. Then we have our weekly alerts where you can text Woo Nation to 74121 and get those weekly reminders of who's coming up next. And what's a summer without your Woo swag? Grab your mask, grab your tote bag, put your laptop in your case, and then put it in your tote bag. Grab your water bottle and head to the park, head to the beach, have your morning coffee with your wake up mug. And you can purchase this at bit.ly/Woo swag. And again, we thank you for joining us this morning. And we want you to stay in touch. So again, you can always register at bit.ly/wake up movement. And that's where you'll see our lineup for the week. And then you can register using the registration button. We have our Woo Facebook communities. Our private group in the public is bit.ly/Woo Nation, where you can see the replays of the sessions. Then you can visit us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. YouTube, we are loading it with some of our playbacks, so stay tuned. That's bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And then you can always reach out to us via email at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or concerns. All right. So now we are going to stop sharing and I'm going to unmute everyone so we can rain down on you with our love showers. And just thank you for being an amazing asset to the community and joining us this morning, Cody. So I'm going to unmute everybody.
Thank you, Cody. Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much. It was
Cody.
great. It was
Thank
thank
you,
you,
thank
Cody.
you, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
You.
you.
Totally
Learned a
appreciate
lot
you.
today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Thank
Be
you.
well.
Thank
Yeah,
Come
you.
back, Cody.
need this. Definitely
Thank
a
you, Cody. Thank
You
you.
helped me so
information.
much. Thank
So,
you.
Thank you,
and
everyone.
have
Thank
a
you.
great day, everyone.
Have a
Wonderful.
great day. Have a great holiday.
Let's get those scores up.
Yes. Also, quick question before we
And
go.
have stay up too.
Thank you. You did
Thank
it.
you, everyone. I also have another question for you guys before you go. If you guys can't donate, a review will be great. A testimonial will be great. A video or even a text in the Facebook group will be amazing. You know what I mean? Like social currency is really, really big as well. So that will be great as well.
That's a great
Awesome.
idea.
Good to know. Thank you for sharing that. Happily do that.
Beautiful.
Just
I
let me
dropped
know
it
how
again in
you
the
guys
chat.
enjoyed it. Yeah. And also someone text the word, just text WUE to my phone number. Don't text anything else with it. Just text the word WUE just so you can get the automated messages. And that's it.
It's important.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Cody. We appreciate it. We'll start
Thank
our
you,
week off
everyone.
right.
Thank you. Very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you.